Hello, everybody. My name is Wise. Welcome to the Stanley Parable. I have a few things to say before we get started into this adventure. I have to say that this is one of my favorite games to have ever existed. This is one of my favorite games. And I've never had the chance to play it myself. I've only been able to watch Markiplier play and some other people that I enjoy watching. But I've been given the privilege, the honor, to watch the Stanley Parable for myself, or not watch, but play it. And I'm also very glad that you're going to be there with me. So without further ado, let's begin the game. The end is never the end. It'll never be. If you don't know what the Stanley Parable is, you will find out very soon. You'll see why it is one of my favorite games to have ever existed. I think the Stanley Parable is one of those games where it gives you a brand new emotion. Something that you've never seen before, ever, in any game in history. Nothing will ever be like the Stanley Parable ever again. Unless it's the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which is coming out soon. But no, I'm just saying, the Stanley Parable is a wild ride, start to finish. And I'm glad that you're going to be here with me. So let's just wait for this incredibly long loading bar to finish. And let's get started.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, this is where we begin. The legendary adventure of the Stanley Parable. So to inspect Stanley's office, look, so we got his computer monitor here, we got some files, paperwork. 427. Employee number 427. Let's get out here, shall we?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You're right.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Let's go check out the meeting room now, shall we? Oh man, looking out the windows and just seeing an infinite white void is kind of an odd feeling, you know? Real strange. It's 424, what are you doing? Beep beep. Beep boop boop boop. Beep beep. Arr, you'll walk the plank. Somebody might get that. Wow. So peculiar, so strange. Hey, room number 420, let me in.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Hey, chill, man, jeez. Mr. Narrator, you have a very nice voice, by the way. Man, this game is just something special about it, you know? Okay, let's see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, let's go on the door on the left. I get this really odd feeling when I look into a room and I can't enter it. I want to enter this room and just learn everything there is to know about this room, but I can't. None of these doors will work. I'm pretty sure that's...
Yet there was not a single person here either.
No one.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you, take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers, resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic on the header, and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure... Okay, whatever. Everyone is unique. I wonder what kind of office building this is, Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Really? I get back on track, you say? Sure, nope. I'm gonna stay in the broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Well, you see, not making any choice is a choice in itself. And I am a person of free will. This narrator can't tell me what to do.
Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
This game always there's choices.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yeah.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I'm doing it just to spite you. Just to spite you. I'm wasting my time, but I'm doing it just to spite you.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Okay, but it's a pretty sick room
Maybe
closet.
to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yes.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
No, we find this funny, right, guys? This is funny.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
No.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh, no, okay.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
What?
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Yes, I'm dead, guys.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
All right, good idea.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Oh, I'm a clone of Wise. I had to dispose of a corpse, but that's okay because I will resume the game that he's been playing because I
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Okay, yeah. Good idea. Let's go into the broom closet. Let's...
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the rest of it right there. Pretty sure that's all of it. Let's just soak in this broom closet before we go. So we got 2 duct tapes, a couple wrenches. What is that? A wrench, pliers, something, mop bucket, broom. Interesting. I like this room very much. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, let's walk upstairs to our boss's office. You know, usually this would be very scary for some people. Let's see. Executive bathroom. Yeah, let me in. I have to take a royal flush. Okay, this fancy office, gotta admit. What's this? Beep boop. It's a nice place he's got here, though. Can I juke out this door? It's gonna close right behind me, isn't it?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
What?
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Hey, that's the cover for the game with the suit and tie dude. Huh. Very interesting indeed.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
It's kind of ghosting the game right there. 1337.
2845.
Damn. Okay. Jeez. A.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination.
Right.
If he knew that the combo was but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Damn. Okay. Jeez. What is this place? So where do I go exactly, Mr. Narrator? Can't see anything. Guess we gotta go into this very evil-looking elevator. Jeez. Man, okay, so I think this is the part where we wrap up one of the endings. One of them. Out of like, what, 50 or something? Man, this game is magical. Really is. Really is. Let's see what's in store for us.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Damn, I can't see anything. Seriously, can't see anything. Wow.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape? Well, what's in here? Do I escape? Or do I go into the mind control facility? Well, maybe. Which one is the truth? I think I'm gonna have to escape here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? I don't know if I want to go down here anymore, but Do I trust the narrator? Maybe he's just trying to keep me out. Maybe it's kind of scary. Oh man, see that? The game just gives
The
you
door
that.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Maybe I have to keep going on this one.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I don't believe you. That's the thing. No, you haven't been very nice, Mr. Narrator. I think this is it. That is kind of creepy. That is kind of creepy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, this is... Man, this game really is something else. Am I jumping into my death? Or jumping into my freedom? Well, freedom from this world, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what's on the other end. Oh! Oh, man. This... Wow.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
What?
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Hey, man! Hey, I don't...
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What? I don't remember this. Am I dead?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Stanley Parable, huh? Is this escape?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? Ooh, this may be spoilers. Oh yeah, this is definitely supposed to be the last ending that you're supposed to get. Considering that they're showing us the credits and models and stuff, yeah, maybe this is not where I'm supposed to be. Wow, real nice place you got here though. Marble columns, always nice. Yeah, spoilers. Oh my goodness, how do I get out of this place? Oh my goodness, this game. Oh, don't look at that one. Don't look at that one. Don't look at any of this. What is this? Huh. Narrator emails. Interesting. Now, let me just get the frick out of this place so I don't get to spoil the entire game for me. This is crazy! Okay, don't look. Don't look at anything. Just stare at the floor. Stare at the floor. Wait, I gotta look around. Wait, don't... Exit? Okay, exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
What? Man, what does that mean? I don't think I'm free in this game. I don't think I have free will. Like you said, when all the choices are made in advance, maybe you are dead from the start. Who knows? Huh. Guess there's nothing left to do. Oh,
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push
okay.
escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I think this is the only way to win. To win the game is to not play it at all. Man, just by that ending, just by that... Man, the Stanley Parable, everybody. You get the goofiness, you get the fun things, like the broom closet, and then you get this. Whatever this is, and however this makes you feel, this game is something else. And I think that's all the time that we have for this episode, because I will definitely be returning to this game. Hopefully you will be too. Man, that is so... See, this is why this is one of my favorite games of all time. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, everybody. This is the Stanley Parable. Come on along. Check out the next episode for me, please. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. Wow. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.